Hi, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Luke. And we're doing the Puppies Training Talk Show. So, what's our news today?
I don't know. What's going on in the news today, Luke?
Today it's Barkoween. It's basically
Barkoween?
Halloween, but they have all dog stuff set up and dogs trick or treat for dog bones. And
Oh,
they
that
dress
sounds
up
like
in
a lot of
little
fun.
costumes.
They would have a good time doing that.
Uh-huh.
So, what's going on in the weather?
The weather is, it's very calm today.
It is very calm today and kind of sunny out, nice out. So, we have a viewer question that is an important topic that we want to talk about today.
What age should your dog start doing agility? I guessed 1 year old, and that's about right.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. When do you start training for agility? Oh, tan off. Tan off. Scoot.
Tan them off.
Scoot. So when do you start training for agility?
Very important.
First I want to talk about physically what goes on with the puppies' bodies. So their muscles, their bones, their ligaments, are you listening? They all grow at different rates. Tan scoop. So, their bone can grow one day, then their ligament the next, the tendon the next, or the bone again. So, puppies are growing all wonky. They don't grow together as they're growing. Okay, so it's really important not to do any repetitive. Do you know what that means?
That means where they go against other things.
Do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Repeat it. So you don't want to repeat activities over and over again, and you don't want to do any concussive things. So concussive means if they hit the ground hard, so that they land and kind of jerk, kind of. Okay.
Like this.
Yeah, kind of hard. So we don't want to do any repetitive or concussive things with our puppies, okay? So what does that mean, though? So I try to limit I let my puppies be puppies. So the first, 6 months of their life is important for puppies to be puppies. I want them to get comfortable in their new house. I want them to get comfortable with their surroundings and other dogs and my family. I want them to learn life rules. They need to learn to stay. They need to learn to come. They need to learn to leash walk. They need to learn to go in a crate, potty on leash, which I'm a failure at. But they need to, learn life skills and to bond with you. It's more important that puppies bond with you than they can do an A-frame or do wee pulls or do a jump. I mean, that stuff will come later. It will come later. So, yep.
This is an easy way to learn how your dogs learn how, want to go in the crate, so it's not a punishment.
Okay, good.
You put put their food in the crate so they won't think it's a punishment. And because Jimmy now he just automatic goes in the crate when he knows he's getting food.
That's a great tip, Luke. That's a fantastic tip.
Okay, back to you.
All right, thank you. So, anyway, my timeline of events of how I start training my puppies, and I've done this now since Sin, and she's almost 14. So like I said, the first about 6 months of life is teaching them some trick training, teaching them life skills. So right now our puppies are 5-6 months old. They are learning front feet targeting. They're learning back feet targeting. They're learning to walk on stuff. They're learning to be comfortable in their bodies, but no strength training. Because again, muscles, tendons, bones all grow at different times. So we don't want to do any strength training because that's muscle, and we don't want to build muscle when the tendons and the bones are kind of behind the growth of the muscles. So we have to be really careful not to do anything that's considered strength training, which is repetitive, holding things, doing things for periods of time, okay? So for the first 6 months of life, they're learning fun stuff, trick stuff, not a whole lot, but trick stuff, and like small increments. Like I will train for a few, a minute, a minute of trying to do front feet targeting, a minute of doing back foot targeting, maybe something else, and then we're done. So we don't spend a lot of time training either. So I will start doing hoops when they're about 7 months old. Sin is trying to play with Spy. So when they're about 7 months old, come here, Spy. When they're about 7 months old, I will start training them. We'll start doing like one hoop stuff so that my puppy will learn one hoop. And they will learn one hoop
As they get
to
older.
proficiency. So I will work one hoop from the side, from the back, from the front, from behind, sending my dog through the hoop, getting lateral distance, getting forward distance.
Commercial.
Because I got to keep talking. It's important to talk about this.
Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do.
Okay. Okay, that was your commercial? Okay. All right, move
That's
by.
all I could think of.
Okay. All right, so I will do one hoop to proficiency so that they learn one hoop. I don't move on to 2 hoops until I'm very satisfied with my 1 hoop work. And I do the same thing, 2 hoops until I'm ready. Working on 1 hoop, 2 hoops, and then moving on from there. When it comes to contacts, I don't put my dogs on contacts, weave poles. They don't do jumping until they're well over a year old. Yeah, that was a good guess.
What happens, like, if they're a year old and a month, is that fine?
Yeah, that's fine too. Older is always fine. We're worried about too young.
Yeah, like,
Why are we worried about them doing stuff too young?
because it can damage their bones.
Yep, and their muscles or their tendons. They can damage their bodies, right? So we don't want to do, I don't do any contacts, weave poles, jump training until they're older. Even low contacts, because even if you lower your dog walk or your A-frame and your puppy comes down, their butt, even if they have the perfect 2-on, 2-off position, which if they do, then you've done training, a lot more training than probably you should be as a young puppy. But if they come down, their butt is elevated over their front, and that puts pressure on their shoulders right away just by the nature of descending down the ramp. Puts a lot of pressure on their shoulders, and it will start building strength, because puppies need strength in order to navigate down a ramp. So that starts strength training, and we don't want to do that with puppies. That being said, I don't care if my puppies run up and down the A-frame once or twice when they're out in the field. That's great. They're getting used to stuff. If they walk up and on stuff, I don't want them stopping at the bottom, because it's that stopping motion. Even if it's the perfect 2-on, 2-off position, it still puts a lot of stress on shoulders. Yep.
Is it okay if they can go in the tunnel like at 3 months old, if they would like to?
Yeah, so our puppies have been running around in the tunnels a lot.
Yeah.
I have tunnels out in my little backyard, and they do zoom around in there. Hopefully that won't bite us in the ass later when they get maybe tunnel sucking. But they're running around on their own. I'm not asking them to do it, and it's on the ground. So I don't really worry about that. So that's a good question. So weave training, I don't do any weave training until they're well over a year old. Okay, Tan. Because that takes weaving is a lot of stress, especially on the shoulders. Again, there are a lot of dogs that have shoulder injuries, and we have to be really careful with that, with our growing puppy shoulders, their whole body, but the shoulders take the brunt of everything. You know, dogs put 60-70% of their weight on their front end, their heads here. So weight is forward. You can even tell Tandem's standing with his weight forward here. He's standing wonky. So those shoulders are always working and working hard. So we have to be very cognizant of their shoulders as they're growing, because we don't want to cause any damage to them. Jump training. I don't do any jump training until they're older for the same reason. They have to jump and then land. And where are they landing?
Shoulders first, and they can hit their feet on the bars, and that can injure their like feet.
Exactly, right. So there's no reason to rush agility training with our puppies. There's no reason because most of the time puppies you can't trial in most of the venues until they're 18 months old anyway. And so from 12 months and a little bit older, that's enough time to teach equipment. During this time period, we can be teaching our dogs our path work. We can be teaching them to follow our cues, to understand our cues. I do a lot of bucket work. I'll do minimum cone work because, again, I don't want to do a lot of turning. We will teach our dogs to turn away from us, and we'll do it a few times. But doing a lot of spins and turns is not good for puppies either because, again, that's going to start building strength, and it's going to be a strength training exercise. And we've got to be careful of those growing bones, ligaments, and tendons. So I will do a few little spins, but not often, not many, right? So when it comes to puppies, it's doing a few things, a little bit, not repetitious, no concussive behaviors, no repetitive motions, okay? What do you think, Luke?
Pretty good, but how long have you been training dogs? Because it seems like you know a lot about this.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. I started doing agility in the late 1990s.
Wow.
So it's been a long time. Yeah, over 20 years.
Is it good? I have one more question.
Okay.
Is it good for puppies to be around like loud noises? Like
it's awesome to have dogs around noises and things, not for long periods of time, but if they hear a boom, a crash, or that, it's very good for them to have noises so they get used to them.
So they won't always get like
Right.
jumpy.
Right.
Like if you on accident crack a branch,
Right. Or you drop something.
and they go like
Right.
so they don't get scared.
Right. On that note, though, about puppies, I do let my puppies be puppies. They run around. They do.
They explore the world.
They explore the world. They do jump on and off things, probably stuff that they shouldn't, and I try very hard not to let them. So, like my bed, next to my bed, I have a little couch, and so my dogs go bed, couch, and then I have a big memory foam bed that I made so that they go. And this is good for all my dogs, but the puppies, so they're not jumping off my bed to the ground. They go bed, couch.
They go on a very, very soft bed, and I jump on myself for fun.
I know, it is fun, so that they're not jumping off of my bed because I don't want them jumping off of things. So I'm very, very careful with my dog, especially my puppies and my senior dogs. All dogs, though, but we don't want them jumping off stuff. But I do let them be puppies. So they do run around. They're running around. They zoom through the tunnels that are out there. They run up and, they run around things. And that's okay because they're doing it on their own, too. But we got to be careful that they don't jump off things. But it's a lot different if they do it on their own and that we ask them to do it.
Excuse me, Lisa? You have to keep a close eye on puppies so they won't eat something.
That's very true.
Like they can eat something very, very big that can actually break their tooth, like Emmy was trying to.
Yes. Yep.
Many times.
Or small things that can get stuck in their throat. Or things
that can make them like chocolate, some type of chocolate.
Or may get them sick. Exactly. So anyway, I hope that answers some questions because I know a few people have emailed me about that recently or asked me those questions.
Make sure to write what questions you want us to answer.
Yep.
We'll answer them.
We'll try. All righty. Well, have a good day. Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.